What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy D Dyson. So I had a nice time this weekend watching what Netflix had to offer, and two main things that came out was Self-Made, the story of Madam CJ Walker, and also Tiger King. So I watched Self-Made first because I truly couldn't wait. I wanted to see how it was broken down into episodes, which was a limited series of, I believe, like 4 or 5 episodes. And for what it's worth, as far as the story, as far as Netflix's story, I enjoyed it. But of course, with anything, especially of that magnitude, I always have to go to social media to see if some of my opinions would be the same as everyone else. And lo and behold, it was. And then on top of some of the things that I found out through social media. So, like I said, I could start by saying that this is a 7 out of 10. And it's basically a story of Madam CJ Walker as Sarah, I think Breedlove was her actual name. And then she got married to CJ Walker and became Madam CJ Walker and started her own miracle hair growth for African American women and profited a great deal. She just had that vision. She had that tenacity to go through with her plans. And at that time, it was unheard of. It was of a significance to see someone like that do that at that time, you know. And I still go back and see the picture of Madam CJ Walker with all of her, I guess her sales agents and her daughter was all in that car and they took a picture. It just started out, like I said, the story based on Netflix, it started out as, you know, she was in an abusive marriage, and at that time she was, you know, working as a laundry woman, and she was just so stressed out, her hair started falling out. And then one day, you know, I forgot what her Addie Mae had came and offered a solution that, hey, I'm selling this miracle grow to help you grow your hair back. And hence, you know, when women have their hair grow back, their confidence grows. So I truly agree with that part. And she wanted to be a sales agent or sales rep for Addie to be like, hey, look, you know, it worked on me. I bet you I can make you a lot of money. We can go in partnership, and I can show you how I can definitely push your product. You know, Addie was like, no. And just as they showed in here, I feel like, what's the actress that played Addie? She also played in True Detective. If you guys watched that in the last season. Phenomenal actress. I love her, and she is beautiful. And they just showed how it was not entirely true, because it was based on, this Netflix series was based on colorism. As Addie was that light-skinned, beautiful, everyone, when you walk in, everyone loves to see you because you're light-skinned. Finding out that Addie was African-American mom, raped by, I guess, a slave owner. And they showed that how Addie was saying, you know, nobody will want to look at you. They want to see somebody like me as a sales agent. So you're not selling my products because it's not going to get far. And it could have been far more from the truth than that. That's something I found out through social media, that part was not true. That the actual person, Annie Malone, was just as the same tone or same skin color as Madam CJ Walker. Madam CJ Walker just took her hair products and sold it. She took the same formula and made her own. As you can see in this, that she was telling her husband, who played by Blair Underwood, that, you know, she took the formula and made her own. She just made it smell good. That was about it, because Addie smelled like sulfur. But I see as she's coined as the first female millionaire. When they looked at Annie Malone, was also a female millionaire, if not the first. So they both were millionaires in their own right. And, you know, I just wanted to see it in full motion. You know, I feel like every actor played a phenomenal role, especially I forgot that guy's name. I saw it, but I forgot his name. Something black, but he was the father of Franklin in Snowfall, as he played. He was the bellhop, and then he started working for Madam C.J. Walker. He played a real good role, because he embodied that role of that's what an African American man would probably, a distinguished man, a guy who's honest and fair, is just trying to, work for a living. He embodied that. And then I don't know who casted Tiffany Haddish, but I guess she wanted to play a more, dramatic role. Still a little bit corny, still a little bit comedy relief, but she wanted to be in that role. I just felt like it was kind of out of place for Tiffany Haddish. I love Tiffany Haddish, don't get me wrong, but I just felt like it was out of place for her to be in this, because with somebody like Octavia Spencer, who brings it in every role she has, that she's not inept with that type of acting ability to match with Octavia Spencer. Because Octavia Spencer, like I said, is a phenomenal female actress. Phenomenal. And I loved how she embodied, even Blair Underwood. I mean, I feel like Blair Underwood always plays those roles of a bad husband. So when I seen him as the husband, I was just like, yeah, he gonna do something crazy, something slick, something messed up. And he was good for a while. For the first 2 episodes, he was supported her, did his thing, and then, being a man, he started like, man, you don't pay attention to me. You're not trying to include me in anything. You're using me as, I'm your employee, when that could be far from the truth, because I'm here helping you, and starts cheating and he runs off, so it's just that I feel like in 4 episodes, they highlighted a lot of things. They spent the 2.5 episodes showing her how she got her success. And then I think in the 3rd episode or 4th episode, they passed through her success like it wasn't nothing. Like the New York Times, they just did it like in a montage, like here, boom, 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 she's successful, whatever. And then, it fast forward to her kidneys is failing, and how she bought a house next to Rockefeller and she wanted to throw a convention for all of her sales agents. And to me, that was something cool and something unheard of. One thing I really, really, really enjoyed about this was to hear and see literary figures or African-American figures that, like I said, we as kids for Black History Month, you research the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X's and Thurgood Marshalls and W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington's, but you don't see any movies about them, or what they were doing in their times to make them such legendary figures. So this was the first time I've ever seen, these figures and portrayed by anybody. Like when she was at that dinner with that successful businessman, and then W.B. Du Bois comes in and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Dang," he's like, "I know who you are, Madam C.J. Walker," and I'm like, "Man," so it makes me feel good to see that, because all I could do was smile at that part. Even with Booker T. Washington, advocating like, hey, I don't want any women up there. It should be an African-American male first. And, just seeing how they were depicted, I even feel like in that point that it was a slightly off, but at the same time, I'm like, who knows? I need to see more about, they need to have more biopics about these figures, and I'll definitely be here to see that. I want to watch that because I want to understand what made them legendary. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, of course we can read it, of course we research it and all that, but I want to see that in live action, live adaptation rolling. But I truly give this a 7 out of 10 because I see how they push that there was an African-American female woman and then, early 1900s, and how she became a millionaire, all the struggles and all the adversity. I understand that story, but they're not going to stick to the actual synopsis of real facts. It's Hollywood. They're going to make sure that it's some type of, fiction thrown in there. But like I said, it's based off of Ayla Bundles, which is the great-granddaughter of that beautiful Black girl with the long black hair. It's based off her great-granddaughter's autobiography of Madam C.J. Walker. So, you know, I never read that book, but who knows? It could have been something very, very similar to that autobiography. So, you know, comment below if you guys really want to go in depth about that, because I don't mind doing that, because, you know, like I said, I watched this and a lot of people really gave this a lot of flack about what was going on at the time. But I still enjoyed it as a good story and something to really watch, especially in these times. So, yeah, if you guys enjoyed my review of Self-Made, Madam C.J. Walker's story, subscribe to my channel, post a comment down below. Please post a comment down below so we can talk about this, and like this video. It is your boy, D Dyson. Peace.